So okay, so that finishes her her discussion of these two religions with regard to reductionism, right? And again, the point is when you have a ultimate reality that doesn't include the true and the living God, something is left out, and you have to. So there's a reductionism that goes on, and that affects your view of people, right? That reductionism affects your view of people. It also affects how you treat people,
right?
Which is what she's going to talk about next with regard to the Nazis, right?
The ideologies.
Yeah, so she's going to look at a couple of ideologies here. Now, she begins this section, it says, from secular idols to death camps. She says one of the most powerful ways to engage with seekers and skeptics is to help them to identify their own idols.
Very good.
The idols are easier to recognize when lived out in practice, especially when they are incarnate in politics and public policy. So we can see, she suggests, the idol more clearly. And so she wants us to take a look here at Nazism and communism as illustrations of what's going on here. She says historians have often wondered how such mind-staggering barbarianism could emerge in modern civilized Europe, right? Yeah. The answer lies, she says, in the power of idols. Nazi doctrine was organized around the idol of race. An individual's race, Aryan or Jew or Slavic, was said to determine the person's views, character, and even how much they were worth, right? So communist ideology, she says, was organized around the idols of economic class. So Nazism, race, communism, economic class. A person's economic class, capitalism, of proletariat, was held to be the all-determining factor. And, of course, as we've seen in every idol-based worldview, some parts of the creation will not fit into the box, right? And so it has to be some facts of general revelation. Then if they can't fit into the box, you have to suppress them some kind of way, right? Or pretend they don't exist, call them an illusion, or whatever.
Physically suppress them.
Yeah. In this case, that's what's going on, right? So she says, she says, when idol-centered worldviews are applied in the political realm, there will be some people who do not fit in the state's prescribed box, and as you said, right, they'll be physically suppressed, who will literally be suppressed and even killed. So under Nazism, those who did not fit in the prescribed box of race included Jews and Gypsies and Slavs and Serbs and Poles and Ukrainians and others. They were transported to concentration camps where about 25 million died or were shot to death.
Right.
Under communism, those who did not fit into the prescribed box of economic class included capitalists and others. They were subject to forced famines or hard labor camps where an estimated 85 to 100 million died or were shot to death. So both regimes rounded up dissenting Christians, by the way.
Yeah, in there, yeah. Again, because you have a paracultural, para-economic, para-race ideology, and so Christians are going to be involved in all those things.
Yeah, so millions of people were killed as a result of ideologies during this time, right?
So are you saying that someone's beliefs affect their actions?
It is amazing, isn't it? Yeah. She says the lesson here is that the idol-based ideologies are invariably dehumanizing, right? And if unchecked, they lead to repression, coercion, oppression, war, and violence. In the 20th century alone, they have taken far more lives and created more havoc than all the religiously motivated witch hunts, inquisitions, and wars of the previous centuries.
Right. And, we're not just talking about Russia here. We're talking about communist China. We're talking about half of Central America. And again, from an economic standpoint, you can only get blood from a stone for so long until you run out of stone to crush. And so, the evil capitalists we're building these farms or these sugar plantations, or for Cuba, and then oil reserves in Brazil, Ecuador area, and then just taken over. And no, you're the terrible people. You're the bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
It's time for the workers who have been
Rise up.
oppressed to rise up.
That's right.
And to overtake famine tends to be the biggest thing, and then you need to re-educate people because for some odd reason people don't like when their stuff's taken, and you have to say everyone is equal. Everyone, according to your means is what you must take, but sometimes you just don't want to dig a hole. And everyone wants to be the poet and the philosopher in those ones. No one wants to help bury the bodies.
Yeah, good.